if
I said something, or I regret.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, it's unlikely there's going to be any
unlikely, but I think the answer is yes, he should apologize. I don't think there's any question, and I don't know how you guys can even say that. I mean, obviously, if he accused President Obama of doing something that he didn't do and called him sick, he should apologize. I don't even understand how this is even a debate.
There might be some who say they're waiting for Lois Lerner to apologize, holding up their tax returns, or the police officer that President Obama accused.
This is the problem that we have, is that there should be a standard. And if anybody should meet that standard, it should be the President of the United States. And he shouldn't meet the standard if, Joe meets his, and then if Skippy meets hers. That's the conversation I have with my kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to do it until he does it. Part of, I think, what's going on here, the damage is not visible yet. It's like termites, okay? All of these little things are like termites, undermining basic trust and credibility. Guess what? Tomorrow always comes. There will be a moment where this man has to stand in front of the country and say, we have to go to war, or we have a serious threat. And you're going to have a lot of people going, should I take this literally or seriously? People will be debating whether or not the President of the United States is serious when he's talking about something that could be of life and death. So right now, this is all fun and games. We can all joke around, but termites are eating through the fundamental structure of our country, and it's very dangerous.
It is interesting that the president is constantly saying, and I think, it was Jon Stewart pointing this out among many others, but like the president is constantly saying, believe me, like at a certain point, the President of the United States shouldn't need to say that phrase. Like, you should just believe what he's saying.
Like a used car salesman.
He did ask for 2 weeks, and he said the DOJ personally asked him for 1 more week. I mean, if he does come up with something, because there was a suspicious headline, wiretap data used in investigation of Trump associates. That was a New York Times headline on January 19th. If in 2 weeks he provides
we've had that reporter on multiple times who keeps pointing out that's not, the article was not talking about President Obama wiretap.
Right,
it was talking about Russian surveillance.
Right, but in the course where they might have picked up on an American citizen. So I think that there could be something that comes out in 2 weeks, and if there is, we're having a different conversation. And a lot of us, Jack included, doesn't trust the Obama administration because of the IRS bullying Tea Party.
Again, that's not what the president tweeted and alleged, and now that's a change. I mean, if you're the president of the United States, you make one allegation, and then it starts to like fall apart, and then you start to move the goalpost. I mean, that's Lucy with the football. I mean, that's not.
But and then his flaws specificity, if that's the case. If something nefarious comes up, he wasn't specific enough, and he should come out and clarify.
But Kelly, I don't even understand your argument. I'm trying to follow it, but that because there were leaks, that somehow we're supposed to think that something happened. I mean, people leaked all through the Obama. People leaked all through the Obama administration. I mean, that doesn't. Whether you think it's right or wrong, it's not something that specifically happened to him. And a lot of the leaks were happening, frankly, I think, because the intelligence community is so concerned about what they believe is going on. And so I think that. I can't quite follow the logic of it.
What is wrong is spying and snooping on an American citizen without a reason.
Who was spied and snooped on?
Mike Flynn. I want to know why. I want to know why his conversation was transcribed.
Kelly, but this is not what I can't. But we've had the New York Times reporter has been on here saying that this was collected.
What crime was Mike Flynn committing when
he was talking to somebody else? He wasn't being targeted.
He wasn't being targeted.
Was he being targeted?
No, I mean they were. It seems like from the reporting that they were surveilling the Russian ambassador.
And when you stumble upon an American citizen conversation in the course of legitimate surveillance, you stop. And unless there's evidence of a crime. What crime? I want to know.
The only crime we know of that has taken place that we can be absolutely sure is the felons who have leaked information. That is a felony. So we know crimes have been committed.
Well, we actually know that the Russians hacked into the election.
But no evidence of collusion. I'm sure that's one of the things that Comey's going to say next week. And that's one of the things Sean Spicer talked about today. It was so frustrating to him whenever somebody says there's no evidence of collusion. Crickets, to quote him.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, I think that's
correct.
And we pointed this out. Clapper said, look, when he left, he saw no evidence of collusion. I think that's an important point, and I think Democrats are out on a very thin, shaky limb, and we'll see what happens, when the evidence comes in. If they, in fact, apologize, or they actually...
I will say this.
Nothing there.
I'm old enough to remember when conservatives were actually really, really patriotic and concerned about foreign governments attacking us in different ways, and that would have been an outrage to them. And it's interesting to me to hear such little concern from the Republicans about the fact that our election was attacked by a foreign power. I want them to get back to their job of defending the country, because it's weird to hear how little you care about that.